Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, guys. So today's lecture will be about Unit 7. Although it may be a little bit different from your notebook, but it is the same meaning, the same grammar, the same vocabulary. Everything's the same. So let's get started.
Unit 7, Tape Script 7.1. John.
So in this unit we're going to talk about the present perfect. يعني بهذه المحاضرة احنا راح نتكلم على المضارع التام the present perfect. يمتى استخدم المضارع التام؟ شنو فائدة استخدامها؟ وهكذا. المضارع التام عندي have أو has زائد past participle التصريف الثالث للفعل. مثلا I have lived here for 3 years. يعني الشيء بدأ في الماضي ومستمر في الوقت الحاضر. خلينا نستمع إلى القطعة ونشرحها إن شاء الله.
Hi, I'm John. I live in London. I have a flat in Dean Street, Soho. I've lived here for 3 years.
شوفوا هو قال I live in London يعني مضارع بسيط هذه حقيقة.
I'm a press photographer.
وإجا هنا قال I have lived here for 3 years يعني هو عاش هو بدأ يعني يعيش قبل 3 سنوات بلندن ومستمر بالعيش هناك. يعني شلون؟ I have a flat in Dean Street, Soho. I have lived here for 3 years. يعني حاليا هو هناك. ولذلك قال I have lived here. شيء بدأ في الماضي ومستمر في الوقت الحاضر، إذن هو مضارع تام. Something started in the past and continues at the present time, so it will be a present perfect, which is has and have plus past participle.
I've worked for the London Gazette since 2010.
So this means that you have worked for them since 2010 and he is still working for them at the moment.
My wife's name is Faye. We've been married for 2 years.
So we have been married for 2 years. They have been married for 2 years and they still married. So they didn't get divorced or anything else.
We met at university. Faye's a receptionist at the Ritz Hotel. I get around town on a motorbike. I've had it since I was 25. Faye goes by bus. We don't have any children yet.
وشوفوا هنا قال I have had it. يعني بدل ما أقول I have it أقول I have had it since I was 25. نفس الموتور بايك. أنا عندي منذ كان عمري 25 سنة ولحد الآن هو عنده نفس الموتور بايك. So ركز على ال present perfect. عندنا I have lived here for 3 years. I have worked for the London Gazette since 2010. شوف أكثر مرات راح يجي with present perfect for and since. And I have lived here for 3 years. I have worked for the London. We have been married for 2 years. I have had it since I was 25. طبعا present perfect جدا سهل، وإن شاء الله وراء هذه المحاضرة احنا نحاول ناخذ ال present perfect continuous، وانتم مسبقا ماخذين أكثر هنا.
Tape Script 7.2. Questions and answers. 1.
هسه عندي tape script 7.2 أسئلة وأجوبة questions and answers.
How long has he lived in the flat?
فإذا أنا أسأل صيغة السؤال تكون مضارع تام present perfect أقول how long has he lived in the flat؟ والجواب راح يكون John has lived in the flat for 3 years. How long did he live in the flat? Karl Marx lived in the flat for 5 years. شوفوا الفرق بين has he lived in the flat هذه present perfect، بينما how long did he live in the flat يعني هو حاليا مدى يسكن بالشقة. بينما السؤال الأول منطق السؤال يبين إنه الشخص حاليا دي يسكن بالشقة. How long has he lived in the flat؟ صار إيش قد يسكن بهاي الشقة؟ فأقول جون صار له 3 سنوات يسكن بهاي الشقة وهو حاليا بهاي الشقة. فش أقول John has lived in the flat في هذه الشقة for 3 years. صار له 3 سنوات يسكن بهذه الشقة، وحاليا هو يسكن بيها. بينما السؤال الثاني لما أنا دي أسأل المضارع البسيط how long did he live in the flat؟ إيش قد سكن بالشقة؟ فأقول كارل ماركس lived in the flat for 5 years. هو سكن 5 سنوات بس بدأ يسكن حاليا. فهذا هو الفرق بين الماضي البسيط simple past والpresent perfect والمضارع التام.
John has lived in the flat for 3 years. 2.
How long did he live in the flat?
Karl Marx lived in the flat for 5 years. 3.
Where does he work?
John works for the London Gazette. 4.
How long has he worked there?
John has worked there since 2010.
شوف يقول لك where does he work؟ وين ده يشتغل؟ احنا دائما العمل، العادات، الأفعال المتكررة دائما نستعمل ال simple present. فقلنا where does he work؟ he works in London Gazette. بينما إذا أريد أسأل من يمتى هو ده يشتغل هناك، هو بعد ما مفصول ده يشتغل نفس المكان، فأقول how long has he worked there؟ الجواب راح يكون John has worked there since 2010. هو ده يشتغل ذاك المكان من سنة 2010، منذ 2010. لذلك أشوف دائما since for أغلب المرات راح تجي بال present perfect.
5.
What was his job in London?
Karl Marx was a foreign correspondent for an American newspaper. 6.
Which newspaper did he write for?
Karl Marx wrote for the New York Daily Tribune.
يعني هو كان ده يكتب هذه المجلة بس في الماضي. Which newspaper did he write for؟ he wrote for. هو كتب هذه المجلة. فإحنا نتكلم على simple past، مضارع ماضي بسيط. How long has he been married؟ من يمتى هو متزوج؟ منذ متى وهو متزوج؟ هو متزوج منذ أو لي. فأقول John has been married for 2 years. أقول John has been married since 2016 أو 2017. It's up to you. How long was he married؟ he was married for 38 years. he was married for 38 years.
How long has he been married?
John has been married for 2 years. 8.
How long was he married?
Karl Marx was married for 38 years. Tape script 7.3. For or since. 1.
هسه راح نجي نتكلم على الفور والسنس اللي هي اللي دائما تقترن بالبريزنت بيرفكت، المضارع التام.
For 3 years. We met at university.
2.
I last went to the cinema.
طبعا قبل ما نبدأ بالفور والسنس حبيت انه انتم تشاهدون هذا الفيديو اللي يتكلم بصورة مبسطة عن اختلاف الفور عن السنس. So let's get started.
This is Everyday Grammar. I'm Kaveh.
And I'm Lucia.
Lucia, how long have you been living in the city?
I've been living here for 6 years. Yeah, I've been living here since 2010.
So, you've been living here for... That's a really interesting point you just brought up.
What do you mean?
Well, the use of for and since. For talks about a period or duration of time. It doesn't have to be an exact number, but it needs to refer to a period of time, like for the weekend, for ages, or for a long time.
Wait, let me try. We're going to New York for the weekend. I've known you for ages. I have been studying English for a long time.
That's great. Also, for can be used when talking about the past, present, or future.
Last year, I traveled for 3 weeks. I'm traveling for 3 weeks. Next year, I will travel for 3 weeks.
Since refers to a point in time. For example,
I have lived here since 2010. It has been raining since 8 a.m. I have been walking since 5 p.m. Remember, for is used with a period of time, while since is used to refer to a specific point in time. And that's everyday grammar.
هسه انتوا فهمتوا الفرق بين الفور والسنس. السنس exact point of time، مثلا منذ 2010 أنا أحدد الزمن، بينما الفور غير محدد، مثلا for 3 years، for 5 years، for a weekend، for a long time إلى آخره. فخلينا نجي على اليونت.
2 weeks ago. The film was really boring.
So the first one, I have known John for 3 years. We met at university. I last went to the cinema 2 weeks ago. The film was really boring. I have had this watch since I was a child. My grandpa gave it to me. شوف since والفور استخداماتهن. I lived in New York from 2005 to 2007. I had a great time there. أقدر أقول I lived in New York for 3 years. أو أقول since أو from. أقدر أقول I lived in New York for 3 years. أو أحدد from to. I've lived in this house since 2008. It's got a beautiful garden. We last had a holiday 2 years ago. We went to Spain. I haven't seen you for ages. What have you been up to? What have you been up to يعني شنو كنت مشغول؟ شنو تسوي؟ أكو بالإنجليزي بدل ما أقول how are you مصطلح آخر أقول how have you been أو how have you been doing. ثامنا we haven't had a break for over an hour. I really need a coffee. Listen.
3.
I've had this watch since I was a child. My grandpa gave it to me.
4. I lived in New York from 2005 to 2007. I had a great time there. 5.
I've lived in this house since 2008. It's got a beautiful garden.
6. We last had a holiday 2 years ago. We went to Spain. 7.
I haven't seen you for ages. What have you been up to?
8. We haven't had a break for over an hour. I really need a coffee. Tape script 7.4. Asking questions. Where do you live, Susan?
هسه هنا نتكلم على طريقة طرح الأسئلة. What tense is used in each question؟ شنو هي الأزمنة المستخدمة بكل سؤال؟ Where do you live, Susan? Where do you live؟ هنا نعرف من استخدام do you live. do و does يدل على المضارع البسيط simple present. In a flat near the town center. خلينا نكمل نشوف.
In a flat near the town centre.
How long have you lived there?
How long have you lived there? How long have you lived there؟ إذا نستخدم have واستخدم past participle إذا المضارع التام present perfect. شوف حتى الجواب راح يكون for 3 years. استخدم الفور كإجابة على المضارع التام.
For 3 years.
Why did you move there?
Because
Where did you move there? Did ماضي بسيط simple past. It's easy.
we wanted to be in a nicer area.
Tape script 7.5. 1.
What do you do?
I work for an international company.
How long have you worked there?
For 2 years.
What did you do before that?
I worked for a charity. 2. Do you know Dave Brown?
Yes, I do.
How long have you known him?
For 5 or 6 years.
Where did you meet him?
We were at university together.
Tape script 7.6.
Frida Hoffman, archaeologist and writer.
Frida Hoffman was born in Germany, but she has lived most of her life abroad.
هنا قال she has lived most of her life abroad، يعني أغلب حياتها هي كانت خارج ألمانيا. she has lived، بستخدم ال present perfect لأن هذا الفعل مستمر لحد الآن حاليا هي خارج ألمانيا. بينما استخدمنا was born in Germany. I was born قلنا دائما استخدم I was born. I was born in Germany. I was born in Iraq إلى آخره.
She has a passion for
So she has a passion for history and ancient civilizations. هذه بما أنه هي مولعة بهذا الشيء، هذه صارت كهواية كولع، هذا صارت عادة دائمية، فأقول she has. ف it is a simple present، مضارع بسيط، ما استخدم ال present perfect مضارع تام، لا ما يصير استخدمه.
history and ancient civilizations. Her greatest love is Africa, and she has written several books about ancient Egypt.
شو يقول she has written، وهي مستمرة بالكتابة، أو تأثير الكتابة تكتب وتأثيرها يبقى. She has written several books about ancient Egypt. طبعا قبل ما أكمل القطعة أحب إنه أوضح لكم استخدامات ال present perfect بشكل أوضح. فإحنا عندنا we use the present perfect for something started in the past and continues in the present. هذا متعارف عليها. قلنا فشي إنه تبدي في الماضي وتستمر في الوقت الحاضر. مثلا they have been married for nearly 50 years. هم صاروا متزوجين تقريبا 50 سنة وبعدهم متزوجين. and she has lived in Liverpool all her life. وبعدها هي عايشة بليفربول. أقول she has lived. when we are talking about experience up to the present، مثلا I have seen that film before. هذه تعتبر خبرة إلي لحد هذه اللحظة. experience up to the present. I have played the guitar ever since I was a teenager. تعتبر skills. He has written 3 books and he is working on another one. كتابة كتاب هذه تعتبر experience. We often use the adverb ever to talk about experience. مثلا my last birthday was the worst day I have ever had. دائما نستخدم ال ever عم نتكلم على experience. and we use never for another negative form. وذلك نستخدم ال never للنفي أبدا يعني. Have you ever met George? Yes, but I have never met his wife. وكذلك إذا شغلة بدت في الماضي وكانت مهمة في المستقبل أو مهمة في الوقت الحاضر. For something that happened in the past, it is important in the present. I can't get in the house. I have lost my keys. يعني I lost my keys in the past. لكن أنا بدي أذكره لأن هذا الحدث جدا مهم في الوقت الحاضر، وبسبب ضياع المفتاح أنا ما أقدر أدخل المنزل. إذن هذا حدث جدا مهم، فأقول I have lost my keys. And Teresa isn't at home. I think she has gone shopping. She has gone shopping. We could often use the present perfect with adverbials. اللي هي شنو adverbials؟ عندي recently, just, which refer to the recent time. الadverbials تأتي معنى ظروف. recently, just, only just، هذني تأتي غالبا مع present perfect. مثلا scientists have recently discovered a new breed of monkey. We have just got back from our holidays. Have you ever seen a ghost? Where have you been up to now? فup to now تعتبر ظروف من الزمن. until now, so far, ever, never, yet. هذه كلهن تأتي غالبا مع present perfect.
Frida, you've traveled a lot in your lifetime. Which countries have you been to?
Well, I've been to a lot of countries in Africa and Asia, but I've never been to South America.
When did you...
شوفوا قلنا never أيضا تأتي مع present perfect. I have never been to South America. I've been to a lot of countries in Africa and Asia, but I've never been to South America. هنا أيضا she has written several books. قلنا هذه experience تعتبر وذلك certain present perfect.
First go abroad.
When I was 6, my family moved to England.
Why did you move there?
Because my father got a job as professor of history at Cambridge University.
Have you always been interested in archaeology?
Yes, I have. When I was 10, there was an exhibition of Tutankhamun, the Egyptian king, in London. My father took me to see it, and I was fascinated. After that, I knew that I wanted to go to Egypt and be an archaeologist.
How many times have you been to Egypt?
20 times at least. I go as often as I can.
Have you ever discovered anything?
Yes, I've made...
أما تم ذكر have you ever. Have you ever discovered anything? Yes, I've made some very important discoveries. I've made حدث مهم ولذلك I have made some important.
some very important discoveries. I was the leader of a team that discovered some ancient tombs near Cairo.
You've written books about Egypt, haven't you? How many books have you written?
I've written 3 about the pharaohs, and I've written a book about a journey I made from Cairo to Cape Town.
How did you travel? By train? By car?
In a Land Rover, of course.
In all your travels, have you ever been in any dangerous situations?
Oh, goodness, yes. I've often been in danger. But in situations like that, you learn so much about yourself.
Tape script 7.7. 1. You moved.
I don't. I've been back a few times to visit relatives, but I've never lived there again. I feel more English than German now.
2. What did you study at university?
I studied ancient history at Cambridge.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did. The course was amazing. In ancient history. I don't. I've been...
Tape script 7.7. 1. You moved to England when you were 6. Do you go back to Germany much?
No, I don't. I've been back a few...
I've been back a few times. I've been back. شوف present perfect. I've never lived present perfect. What did you study at the university? هذه القراءة انتهت. فيش تقول I studied ancient history at Cambridge. Did you enjoy it? ماضي. فاستخدم simple past.
few times to visit relatives, but I've never lived there again. I feel more English than German now.
2. What did you study at university?
I studied ancient history at Cambridge.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did. The course was amazing, and Cambridge was a great place to live.
3. Have you ever had an ordinary job?
Of course I have. I've done all sorts of things. After university, I didn't have any money.
So what did you do?
I worked in a restaurant. I hated it.
Why didn't you like it?
Because the hours were so long, and the people I was working with were horrible.
4. You said you've often been in danger. What's the most dangerous situation you've ever been in?
Well, I had a very bad car crash in Cairo. I was seriously injured and broke several bones. I spent 3 months in hospital. I was very lucky. I nearly died.
Tape script 7.8. Word endings.
Photographer. Receptionist.
طبعا هذه يبين لك الفوكابلري مصطلحات العمل تنتهي مثلا ER OR IST AN IAN و INT مثلا photographer politics وإلى آخره.
Scientist.
farmer المزارع والartist
Artist.
الpolitician
Politician.
AIN
Musician.
IAN عفوا
Accountant.
ANT
Decorator.
OR تنتهي بOR
Actor.
تنتهي أيضا بOR
Interpreter.
المترجم تنتهي أيضا بR
Librarian.
IAN
Electrician.
IAN
Lawyer.
IAN. فالفوتوغرافر انتم تعرفون المصور، يشب ريسبشنست، هذا موجود بالاستعلامات، الساينتست عالم، الفارمر مزارع، ارتست هذا الفنان اللي يرسم، الارتست الرسام، تجي معنا الرسام ايضا، politician سياسي، musician موسيقي، accountant محاسب، decorator اللي يصمم الديكورات، الاكتر ممثل، interpreter مترجم، librarian اللي يشتغل بالمكتبة، electrician كهربائي، واللوير محامي. فهذني كلهن يبين لك ان تنتهي ب ER OR IST IAN والANT. إن شاء الله هذه واضحة لكم.
Take script 7.9. Word stress. Two-syllabled nouns and adjectives. Nouns. Danger. Kindness.
هذا راح يبين لك الاسم والصفة، مثلا danger dangerous.
Critic. Artist. Difference. Adjectives. Dangerous. Healthy. Friendly. Famous. Different. Two-syllabled verbs. Invite. Explain. Discuss. Employ. Decide. Compete. Nouns ending in shun. Invitation. Explanation. Competition. Ambition. Decision. Tape script 7.10. David Taylor Buse.
I come from Newcastle in England, but now I live in Perth, Australia. I've been here nearly 10 years.
من استخدم ال present perfect. I've been here. صار لي هنا منذ 5 سنوات. nearly 10 سنوات. nearly 10 years. وقال I live in Perth. I live Australia. Simple present, present perfect, and so on. انتبه إلى الأزمنة.
Jodie is Australian, and our children, Russell and Alice, were born here. Alice is named after my grandmother, her great-grandmother, Alice Buse. She's 89 now and still lives in Newcastle. Lately, I've become really interested in my family history back in the UK. I've started speaking to my grandmother about it. I've found out that she was the youngest of 9 children and the only one to have been born in England. Her 8 brothers and sisters were all born in Scotland. They came from the very north of Scotland, from some islands called the Orkneys. They worked there as farmers over 100 years ago. My grandmother told me that hundreds of years before that, our family's ancestors were actually Norwegian. They came over to Scotland in the 9th century. She says that's why we all have blonde hair in our family. Anyway, it became more and more difficult for my great-grandparents to make a living farming, so they travelled south. They finally arrived in the north of England, in Newcastle, with their 8 children. Alice was born soon after they arrived.
Tape script 7.11. Talking to Grandma.
So, Grandma, your parents were both born in the Orkney Islands. Is that right?
Yes. My mother was called Jane. She grew up there, and she married when she was just 17.
And you were her 9th child?
Yes. I was the only one born in England. Times were really hard for my mother. You see, my father died when I was 3. I can't remember him at all.
So what did your mother do?
She worked as a cleaner and a dressmaker.
She had 2 jobs and a big family.
Oh, yes. She was an amazing lady. But my 2 eldest brothers, They got work in the shipyard, so that helped too. All my brothers and sisters have died now. I'm the only one left.
I know. Did you marry young, Grandma?
Oh, no. I didn't marry until I was 22.
That's still young.
It wasn't unusual in those days. And I had only 3 children.
But now you have lots of grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
I do. They live all over the world, not just in Australia.
I know. I have cousins in New Zealand and America. But Cousin Peter still lives near you, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He helps me keep in touch with you all with this Skype thing.
Yeah, this Skype is amazing, isn't it?
Oh, yes. I love it. I talk to all my grandchildren, and I've seen all my great-grandchildren. I email sometimes too. Email, Skype and texting. It's all really wonderful, isn't it?
It is, Grandma. It's just great talking to you. I've got lots more questions for next time.
Tape script 7.12.
طبعا لهجة الجرانما كانت لهجة اسكتلندا. الأكسنت.
Question tags.
It's really wonderful, isn't it?
يعني يبين لك كيف شلون راح تسأل. It's really wonderful, isn't it? Life wasn't easy then, was it? You have lived in England for years, haven't you? You come from Scotland, don't you?
You come from Scotland, don't you? Life wasn't easy then, was it? You've lived in England for years, haven't you?
Tape script 7.13. It's a lovely day, isn't it? 1.
It's a lovely day, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Beautiful.
We all love days like this, don't we?
We certainly do. 2.
Mummy, our cat isn't very big, is she? No, she isn't. She's just a kitten. And she loves fish, doesn't she? She does. It's her favourite food.
3. We had such a good holiday, didn't we?
We did. We had a great time.
And it wasn't too expensive, was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't expensive at all.
4.
The baby looks just like her mother, doesn't she?
Uh-huh. Same blue eyes, same nose.
But she's got her father's blonde hair, hasn't she?
Yes, she's very fair. Tape script 7.14. 1. It was a great party last night, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I really enjoyed it.
من تسأل مثلا it was a great party last night, wasn't it? It wasn't. إذا أقول it wasn't great party last night أقول was it؟ يعني بعكس إذا كان مثبت أنت ال wasn't it راح تكتبها نفي، وإذا كان نفي أنت ال was بالجهة الأخرى تكون مثبتة. أتمنى أنتم فاهمين، هذا سهل جدا.
2.
Dave knows everything about computers, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He can fix them and program them. 3. You went to school with my brother, didn't you?
Yes, I did. We were really good friends.
4.
Learning a language isn't easy, is it?
No, it isn't. It needs a lot of practice and patience.
5.
Our English has improved a lot, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. We're all much better now.
6. We haven't had a break for ages, have we?
No, we haven't. It's time for one right now.
Tape script 7.15. 1.
It's horrible weather today, isn't it?
Awful.
The rain makes you miserable, doesn't it?
Yep. And wet.
Never mind. We need the rain, don't we?
I suppose so.
2.
It's so romantic here, isn't it?
Yes, it's beautiful.
And the sea looks so inviting, doesn't it?
I think I'll go for a swim before breakfast. I've got time, haven't I?
Of course you've got time. We're on holiday, aren't we?
3.
You don't like Anne, do you?
She's all right.
But you didn't talk to her all night, did you?
Well, she was talking to Jim, wasn't she?
She's very interesting, actually.
But she never listens, does she? She just talks and talks and talks.
4.
I'd love to buy that car.
But we haven't got any money, have we?
I thought we had lots.
But we spent it all on a new kitchen, didn't we?
Oh, yes. So we did. Never mind.
We can save up, can't we?
Okay.
أعتقد لي هنا احنا خلصنا اليونت. تكلمنا على present perfect، تكلمنا على foreign sense، ever and never اللي دائما تأتي مع present perfect. foreign sense تستخدم غالبا مع present perfect. تكلمنا على الظروف الزمنية اللي تستخدم مع present perfect، والجمل الجمل اللي يسموها الشرطية أو جمل السؤال مثلا وليس الشرطية. لما نقول مثلا it's horrible weather today isn't it، فالword formation will agree with me. إن شاء الله المحاضرة الجاية راح نبدي unit 8. وإذا عندكم أي سؤال اكتبوا لي بالكومنت ونقدر احنا نسوي أمثلة ونحلهن سوية إن شاء الله. So good luck and have a nice time.